Okay, today's date, it is October 10th of 2020. It's Saturday. It's almost 6 a.m. And I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. And I had Linux on my computer, and I just formatted and I put Windows 10 back on my computer. Not sure why I did. Well, one of a simple game that I wanted to play, I had problems with that. I had problems with that. With it on Linux, it would lock up. What else? There were a number of things. And I just was in the mood and decided to format and put Windows 10 back on, so I just did that. I put, of course, OBS on here. I'm using that now. I put Manicam on just now, and I own about 3 licenses. 2 of them are lifetime licenses and everything with that. And I just went in and uninstalled it. So right now I just have OBS on. I'm using my Brios camera. I'm using the same sound that I was using before, so I hope the audio is going to be okay. Let's look at, give you an idea what today is. It'd be great if somebody's looking at this video 6 months from now and there's no mention of the coronavirus, or it'd be great if we could, get out and not have to put a mask on and do all that kind of stuff. It's really depressing. I mean, I got some mobility problems, and fat, feet are swollen, legs are swollen, all types of things. So I haven't been getting out that much before the virus. But I'm like, I think with all the rest of us, I'm tired of all of this. I'll be glad when the election is over. It's really pretty depressing. And I don't know, just everything right now seems kind of depressing. Did I mention depressing, I watched on Netflix.
You didn't make it to Mount Weather. What the hell happened out there?
We were attacked.
Attacked. You didn't make.
Been watching
I've
again.
always liked driving and talking. And I don't like anybody but comedians.
Comedians in cars going out to get coffee. I'd watched them before. I notice here it says 6 seasons, but I think there's 11 seasons.
Black. Sarah?
Yes.
This is Larry speaking.
Hi, Bob. It's Jerry.
Episodes.
I don't know what to say. Are you giving it to me?
It kind of depends on how the show goes today.
I've never heard of a gift like that.
What the hell, man?
You excited?
I watched this.
That summer was a remarkable one. For generations, we'd known nothing
I watched
but
this,
violence, nothing but hatred.
Derby Girls
But finally, we were saying,
from
let's
Ireland.
give peace a chance. She's up here. Jesus Christ! Close
Many
the door.
times.
No, Orla, leave. Then close the door.
I like watching girls in
Listen,
Catholic
Wayne, No funny business with these Protestant lads. We're not
tell
doing this
anybody.
to get off with Protestant boys, Mummy. We're doing this for peace. We're doing it for...
Let's see. I started, a long time ago watching the new Lost in Space, and I don't know. I just stopped.
I have a.
Of course, love The West Wing, and I've watched.
Naval intelligence reports approximately 1,200.
I can do the lines.
I forgot to turn this thing.
Hello, IT.
Something's wrong with my computer.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
No.
I think that was great. Well, it was kind of. They did the same thing, used the same. But I really enjoyed the beginning. At first I enjoyed the IT Crowd UK TV show. Weeds, I really enjoyed that. But I actually haven't finished it. I don't think. I watched almost all the way to the end, all the episodes, and I don't think I finished it. I don't believe. Dave Chappelle comedy is just really, he's, really talented, really smart, and great, stand-up comedy acts. Gran Torino, that was a great, this was a great movie. I've watched it a couple of times. Fargo, the movie at Fargo, I watched it, I think, when everybody else did. And I haven't watched it, I haven't watched it a second time, but it was really good. Of course, War Games. I watched that in the beginning, and I think I watched it, nothing to watch, and I watched it over again, in the movies or TV shows where there's, well, sometimes I do with violence, but not really. I don't, New releases. This is on Netflix, isn't it? Schitt's Creek. I think that won best. It's a series, isn't it?
My dad had asked Catherine to be a part of the presentation pilot.
She's always like a first choice. She was a first choice with the movies that Chris and I did. I mean, number one.
I think it won a bunch of awards at whatever the Emmys or the Emmys would be movies, wouldn't it? Whatever. Haven't watched it. I was a great Star Trek fan from the beginning with the original, and I think I'm tired of the Star Trek. I think I'm burned out on it. Enemy at the Gates was an excellent movie. Poseidon, the original one, I watched it. I haven't watched any of the others. I'm not sure how many have been others. Bill Burr, I like his comedy. course, Eddie Murphy is, great. You know, I like Jerry Steinfeld's, series, but I don't really care for his stand-up. I don't care for his routines. He's just not my kind of comedian. Now, he does with his, comedians in cars drinking coffee or whatever. That 30-minute, I really enjoy that because of, the interaction between him and another comedian. And, yeah, that's good. But so far as his stand-up comedy, just not my kind of comedy. Of course, Jeff Dunham, that's really, that's really...
Oh my Lord, where the hell are we now? Well, they did a hell of a job decorating the gym. Not a gym, it's all the way. Oh yeah, look at it. Hey!
Netflix, and I guess maybe some others I can't remember. They're doing everything, of course, in all those sites to get all the material they can. And I think it's Netflix or is maybe Amazon, both. They're bringing in foreign comedy people to do shows, recording one episode. It's interesting to see some of the foreign people, but in general, it's not really, not my kind of comedy usually. I think he was an Indian. Was he Indian or from Singapore? I can't remember. And he, I guess, was a medical doctor and married to a medical doctor, I believe. I think she was a radiologist, I might be wrong. But he gave up medicine to do stand-up comedy. And I saw they had one special, and he did a great job. But I think that's all the material. I can't see him coming up because everything was, related to that he was a doctor and stuff like that, and I just can't see him coming up with new material. I might be wrong, but I'm looking at the comedy things here.
Jack White!
There's so much stuff to watch, but for some reason I can't get into. I just can't get into a lot of it for some reason, and I'm going to be 80 in March, and so I was, alive when there wasn't television, and when we did get television, we got one channel, then eventually 2 channels and 3 channels, or whatever. And then in the past there wasn't much to watch, but in a way that was in sort of a good thing, because we all sort of watched. You had, maybe you had 3 networks or 4 networks or something, but we basically all watched. So we had a shared, things we watched, and now everything's so divided up. I think that's part of the problem that we have. Nurse Jackie, I watched just maybe 2 episodes.
All right, I got one for you.
And
What do you...
I thought it was really good. The first episode, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a series, you know. But let me spoil it a little bit for you. She's an ER nurse, and she's a good ER nurse, but she's doing drugs. She goes to she has sex with the pharmacist that runs the hospital pharmacy, and she goes and gets, some drugs from him on a regular basis. And so I watched it, and then the shocker was at the, and it's, I think, I'm not sure if it's an hour or, let's see if does it tell us?
All right, I got one for you. What do you call a nurse with a bad back?
Anyway, a lot of this was, I spent 30 years working hospital security, and so I really identified with the first episode that I saw. But and then at the end of the thing, she leaves the hospital, to go home. Then she goes home, and she's got kids, and she's got a husband. And that was a shocker, because, anyway. But I don't know why I haven't, it's something I could watch, but I don't know, I like upbeat, happy things. I don't want to see, I'm not interested in slasher movies or murder things and gross things. But now I do watch some of when they're really good. Of course, I don't know till I watch, some of the shoot 'em up, gangster type things, that type of stuff. So in general. Now here's a good movie, by the way.
If one had asked Harold, he would have said that this particular Wednesday was exactly like all the Wednesdays prior. And he began it the same way he... And he began it the same way he always did.
That's Stranger Than Fiction, and it's on Netflix, and it really was good, I thought. But there again, everybody's different in what you like. Like I said, Eddie Murphy is excellent. Richard Pryor for comedy, and Richard Pryor. Chris Rock. Hubie's Halloween. I usually don't like sort of juvenile, crazy, farting, vomiting type, crap like that. But actually, it wasn't bad. I mean, I don't recommend it, but I was doing some other stuff here. I wanted to watch something, and I didn't want to watch something that I've watched a dozen times. So I just thought, I gotta watch something. So I watched that, and it was. Let's see.
My dad had asked Catherine to be a part of the presentation pilot.
She's always like a first choice. She was a first choice with the movies that Chris and I did. I mean, number one name. Let's get Catherine.
She had said yes, conditionally.
I haven't watched Call the Midwife at all, BBC program. You know. I watch a lot of documentaries. I haven't. Watching Coneheads once was enough, but it was funny and interesting. I've never watched The Dukes of Hazzard. And I actually, watched, I think, well, maybe not, I think there's still a few more. Kim's Convenience. Some of those, of course, that's not, some of those things I watch just to get, especially some of the ones that are from other countries, just to see how they live and how they communicate with each, Can't remember what it was. I watched a series, I think it was from India, and that was really, or might have been Pakistan, can't remember. It was really interesting how they used their own language. Like, so this was, a TV series for consumption there, but Netflix or Amazon or somebody, brought the series here. And it was interesting to see, you got an idea of how they lived. What the mother did, what the father did. And that was, and so I like those kind of things. I've seen some Chinese movies. Saw the one about the school, or the school, which was based on a true story. I mean, a poverty, small Chinese community. One guy's some guy's the teacher. And I mean, it's really, poverty is just unbelievable. And he's so happy that he has enough budget that he can have chalk and make it through an entire, school year with the chalk that he has. And he had to leave, illness, and he had to leave, so he put a young girl who was smart from the class, and I'm thinking maybe she's 15 or so, I can't remember now. Puts her in charge, tells her, take care of the chalk, and so that was interesting to watch. I remember another Chinese movie that there's grandma who lives in the country, and her daughter, with a girl, with a child. I'm going to say 12 or something like that, years old. Mother decides that this girl should spend the summer with grandma. And grandma does not have computers, does not have internet service. And that was interesting because you could see kind of, I know now we have, major Chinese mega cities that they have better internet service than we do, and they have, they have, but that type of, that was an interesting, it wasn't, It wasn't violence. It wasn't. It was just, you know, seeing people live, and that was really interesting. You know, by the end of the summer, when it's time for the girl to go home, she's going to miss Grandma. Grandma's going to miss her. And the girl learned, you know, a little bit. You know, when the girl gets there, she's, you know, the girl has a cell phone and everything. And cell phone doesn't work, you know. And Grandma, where's your television set? You know, no television set. Anyway, this is sort of a test. I'm using OBS to record this. Hope I've got audio, because I just installed Windows 10 back. So we'll see what we have. Thank you very much for watching.